Welcome to the Shootin The Que podcast, presented by Heath Riles BBQ, with tips, tricks, and an inside look with some of the top pitmasters in the game. Now here's your host, Heath Riles.
Welcome back to another episode of Shootin The Que. It's been a busy summer so far, and it's been a hot one for sure. I'm joined today by my lovely wife, Candance. How are you doing today, honey?
I'm good. It's not as hot today.
No, it's not. The rain's kind of cooled it down. The storms come in. Well, we've had a hot last few weeks of travel.
You've traveled more than I have, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we started off the going to Philadelphia and going up to Meadow Creek BBQ Supply.
It's in New Holland, Pennsylvania.
Right outside of Philly. So what did you think about Meadow Creek BBQ Supply kind of up in that part of the country?
I think that part of the country is really beautiful, that if you've only ever been to like Philadelphia, that you don't really understand how pretty that side of the country is. And me personally, I'd only ever been to Philadelphia. I'd never been anywhere else in Pennsylvania per se. And it was about an hour and a half drive. Outside of that, honestly, it probably shouldn't have even taken that long. It's just traffic there is terrible. Ridiculous. But it's just beautiful countryside, really. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like here in the South. It's just different.
A lot of really groomed, beautiful green grass.
Yeah. Which is weird because, you know, it gets so cold there every winter. But
well, I will say just some of the, even some of the food we ate was really good in different parts that we stopped at and done. But up there in New Holland, the event that we went to was kind of based around, I guess they bring in one person every year, and I happened to be that one person that come in, and they cooked 125 slabs of ribs. It was my Memphis and May recipe. Cooked it on a Meadow Creek offset smoker. They did. I didn't have to touch anything. I tasted the ribs, thought they turned out beautiful.
Well, you kind of coached them on how you wanted them prepared.
We kind of went through a whole spill over the phone. They practiced 2 or 3 times, I think, before we come up. And my recipe is pretty simple, you know, nothing hard. It's just executing it. And I thought they done great, especially some of the ribs that were rested, you know, a couple hours. The crowd really enjoyed them. I think they got rid of almost every slab. But they have 11 slabs left.
I don't remember. He counted them, but I don't remember how
Wasn't many. And it was some of the people that hadn't showed up yet that were late showing up, and they finished those slabs off.
So we kind of talked about with them in previous years, which we had never been before, but I guess they're having like a heat wave summer too. It normally doesn't get that hot there. And one of the days we were there was going to be like the hottest it had been there in a long, long time. I think it got up to like 98 degrees or 99, and we were on like blacktop pavement the whole time. It's not humid there like it is here in the South, but it was still hot.
We would have died if it would have been humid like Memphis around this area. But
it was different for them, I think, as well. But they have a beautiful store, do a great job, very friendly. We talked about having them on the podcast, but unfortunately that's just not something that they can do given they are Amish. So that's just not something that works for them, and I get that.
Superb gentleman, though, and I will tell you, their store, as clean as it was, organized, professional. I mean, their warehouse and their back room and the loading docks for people that back up and buy grills and accessories and charcoal and pallets of stuff.
For those that don't know, they have the store, but they are Meadow Creek smokers, and they have a separate. It's not there at the store, but where we kind of got to tour where those smokers are made as well, and that was
his brother.
Well, his dad's brother, yes.
His dad's brother.
Yeah, so Irvin kind of has taken over and runs the store. His dad, Jesse, I think it's Jesse's brother that runs the smoker side of it now. But I have grown up in shops kind of my whole life. My dad was a diesel mechanic, so I've been around all kinds of shops because when you're, I guess, a diesel mechanic, it doesn't just come with motors. There's the welding and all that different stuff. But you're talking about cleanliness.
You're talking about their shop. I know what you're finna
Their
say.
shop was something that I've never, I mean, it was,
For
it
a
looked like a
welding shop.
woman had been in there daily organizing, cleaning. I mean, it was superb. Everything labeled in its proper place. I mean, it was just unbelievable that.
And it was not a huge building. It was very compact where they built
No, it
the
wasn't
smokers.
huge, but it wasn't tiny.
But no, it wasn't tiny. I'm going to say it was probably under 2,000 square feet, but or maybe a little over. But just how they had everything laid out and labeled in bins and so organized, their parts and accessories, and they make just about everything.
They
by
do
hand.
everything there,
Yeah, they do
too.
everything by hand.
even the painting
And it is unreal for a welding shop to be that organized.
and clean.
And we didn't even see them working, so I can't imagine.
All right, they had
Seeing them
closed
working.
early that day because the event was the next day, and I think that most of them were going to be kind of helping out with that.
Well, at the store, what's really unique, I don't know of a lot of other barbecue stores that do this. Bins that they, I know they're separate now, but you can kind of say they're together. They actually rent grills
Yes,
as well.
that was
So they have
something
those
unique. I thought.
chicken flipper grills, it's really
Well,
unique to Meadow
smokers,
Creek,
not
and
just
smokers.
grills.
But being able to rent, you can't, I don't know of anywhere around here you can really rent party grills or big event type
Right.
grills.
So they say all of their available rentals stay booked on the
All the time.
weekends, that they hardly ever have any available because it's a constant. And I can see that. Somebody might
I
not
need to get into that here.
somebody might not want to go spend that amount of money because they know they're not going to use that smoker that much, but they might want to use it once or twice a year. And if you call and, schedule it or whatever, and you just rent it, I mean, that's pretty cool.
I think it is.
I think that's a great idea. But yeah, I don't know of any. We've been through a lot of barbecue stores, you probably more so than me, but I've never seen that happening before.
Well,
Unless I just didn't know about it, maybe.
So before we got up to the event, we had a day in Philadelphia. And
A few hours.
a few
not
hours.
long.
I don't want to call it a full day. But we went over to Reading Terminal.
Yes. Market.
Reading Market, whatever. you
Reading
want.
Terminal Market, I think.
And so that was my first time there. I've been to some other
I've
markets.
been there once before.
And I will say, it's like a big food market, farmer's market, / a little bit of everything in there, but mostly food vendors.
And that goes from food you can cook to like raw food
Yeah.
versus already prepared food as well.
And some of your most iconic restaurants that's in Philadelphia has little stands in there and things like that. And we did try a roast pork sandwich because I hadn't had one.
Well, we had gone to dinner the night before, and our waiter kind of recommended that sandwich. I can't remember the name of it. The stand.
I don't either.
But actually, I think I took a picture of
There's
it.
the
in
one
my
I do
phone.
remember the name of.
Well, I took a picture of the pork sandwich. You can describe it because I probably don't remember everything on it, but it was different.
Yeah, it had broccolini on it.
Was it broccolini?
Baklava, whatever, not baklava. What is it? My mind
Did
is
not
in
have
500
baklava
my mind's
on
in
it.
500 places.
Broccoli Rob, or
Yeah,
how do you say?
broccoli Rob.
However you say it,
yeah,
I don't know.
what I'm thinking.
I don't
And the au jus and all that, and it was
and cheese.
good.
It had cheese, right?
Yeah.
but I couldn't taste the cheese really.
But it
was different.
Yeah, it was very different.
But apparently, that's like a known stand for that specific sandwich. And our waiter the night before was like, "You have to try this if you're into barbecue and pork. Like you have to try it." And it was.
I wish we could have
was solid.
made it over to Angelo's and got a cheesesteak from them. We were not able to make it over there.
We didn't eat a cheesesteak at all.
No,
The whole time we were
didn't.
there.
But
So you'll just have to stick with making the internet mad, making your version.
well, I know, but for you decided to get something at the Dutch Eatery inside Reading Terminal.
I don't think it's called Dutch Family. Is it
Dutch Family Eatery.
Is that what it's called? Okay,
think so.
I can't remember. I don't.
And they have pancakes and breakfast, and it's
They're
almost like a
known
little,
for their breakfast.
They're known for their
apparently, like it's a
breakfast.
big deal to get there and have breakfast. But
Well, you for
didn't
some
want breakfast.
odd reason ordered a cheeseburger.
I kept seeing it up on the sign, and for those of you that don't know, I'm not a burger person. Like I have to be in
Not
the
like
mood.
me.
No, I'm just not a big. I mean, I'll eat burgers, but I'm normally just kind of like, whatever, burger. Okay.
You don't want to go get a burger somewhere like me. I'd go eat a burger 2 days a week.
No, it's very rare that I'll order a burger anywhere, and it's very rare that I get excited about a burger when you make one at home. just because I'm not a burger person.
That's right.
But I don't know. Something just kept telling me, like, you need to order this. This is, like, you got to order this. So I did.
So she went one way.
And he talked crap to me the whole time. I can't believe you're getting that. That's ridiculous.
I can't believe you're getting a cheeseburger.
I can't believe you're getting a cheeseburger. That's ridiculous.
Well, you of all people, because you don't normally like burgers.
But I just had a feeling like I need to get this.
It was like a feeling you got it from me almost, because you ate
I didn't get it from you because you were talking to me for ordering it.
Well, you only ate about half of it.
Because I was full. Because we had already eaten
that other
thing. And so you're like,
you want to try this? And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, I guess.
And so it was all hand-cut fries in the box and a jumbo.
Homemade lemonade came with it.
Homemade lemonade. And so the burger, it was a homemade potato bun.
They fresh grind their meat daily.
Fresh grind their meat daily. Had homemade pickles, homemade mayonnaise, and had shaved, steamed onions.
And it came with lettuce and tomato. But another thing about me, I do not eat lettuce and tomato on a hot sandwich because lettuce and tomato should not be hot, in case y'all didn't know. But go ahead.
Agree to disagree on that.
So we got no lettuce and tomato on that.
Just mayonnaise, pickle, and onions. It had the proper amount of mayo. You could taste it, and you could squeeze it out of the sides of the bun. And I will tell you, that was probably...
It's a good bun, too.
I almost want to say that was the best cheeseburger I've ever ate. I really believe that. It would be between 1 and 2. And I've had some good ones, and that goes against all the high-end beef burgers that I've had or anything like that. Anything I've ever cooked, that basic burger was one of the best I've ever tasted, without a doubt. And I've come home and talked about it. You know, I've already been home and Googled and read so much about how they cook those burgers and what they put in their mayonnaise to make it taste that like that and all that. And I actually cooked a burger over the weekend kind of like that. And that was not as good.
I must have been absent because what I tasted was nothing
well,
like
I mean,
that.
It had W sauce. It was a good burger to me, and mayo and shaved onions and all that kind of stuff. It was good.
It's all right.
But it was not that Dutch eatery. That was for sure.
You're welcome for providing that.
Thank you. You got something right. Look at you. You ordered a good burger for once. But that Philly trip was really interesting. The Dutch eatery was great. We wound up going to another place called Butcher and Singer, a steakhouse.
That was the first night we were there, and that was actually the waiter who recommended that other place, the pork sandwich, to us. Yes, that was the first night.
And Butcher and Singer is supposed to be one of the top steakhouses in Philadelphia. And I'm going to go.
It was good.
It was good.
It gives you like an old school vibe, like a, 40s, 50s type.
The vibe did not pervade on the plate to me.
Oh, my gosh. Whatever.
I mean, I don't mean nothing bad by that. It was a perfectly cooked steak, but it was just a steak.
It was good. I thought it was a good steak. What I will say was different there that I've never had, that I've always wanted to try, and they had it on the menu, so I had to get it, was the baked Alaska for dessert.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
And that's a very unique dessert. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like, hard to describe. It's like a cake kind of, but then it's got like a something in the middle, like a custard or pudding, and then it's like
a toasted marshmallow top.
Yes, but it's frozen, so it's like frozen in the middle, but then it's toasted on the outside. So it's very different.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
But I've always wanted to try one, and it was good.
So we come home from Philadelphia, and then I had to come home and immediately shoot some cooking videos that was going to be released on that Thursday. And I turned around and left that Thursday and went to Orange Beach and went fishing with some friends of mine that I grew up with, which was a great trip. 10 of us went down to Orange Beach and had a grand time. We had rented an Airbnb and chartered a boat, and we went fishing a couple days, 6-hour trips. And it was good except for the rough weather on the first Friday morning. It was pretty rough.
But it wasn't so rough that you didn't go out.
No, we went out. I mean, actually the storm woke me up Friday morning about 4:30, and my alarm was set to go off at 4:45 because we had to be on the dock within an hour, at 15 till 6. And so it was just up like 2 miles down the road, so it ain't like we had far to go. And so it had quit raining by a few minutes after 5, But, you know, it was still rain on the road driving down there and all that. And we got there and walked in the marina at Zeke's. And I wanted to make sure that that captain was still going out. And I told the lady what boat it was. She asked me what boat, and I told her. And she said, "Oh, yeah, he's going out." And I thought to myself, well,
here's another one.
Here's another trip, yeah.
We know
These
another one like
ain't
that.
calling it. And so the bay wasn't really bad until you crossed under the bridge to go up the channel, the inlet, to go out into the big water. And we stopped to chum some bait there, and the boat was a little rocky. And it was all good until we probably got out there. We probably rode a solid hour after we caught some bait before we started fishing, maybe a little over an hour. And with that time, one of the guys got sick, second guy got sick, third guy got sick, and I chugged a bottle of water. I was thirsty.
There's always an excuse. There we go.
Well, I blew that bottle of water and released it back into the ocean. After that, I was fine. The bottle of water that I chugged, I never threw up. But yeah, I did exit that bottle of water that I drank. And I was fine that Friday, and I felt a little nauseated on Saturday and done the same thing again, but I fished. And
so what kind of fish did y'all catch?
We were catching redfish and snapper, and seems like we caught a couple other little things, maybe a tigerfish, and hooked up on a couple good fish that broke some lines. But
so the first day, a lot of y'all got sick.
5 people got sick.
And there
out of
was
the 10.
one person that never fished.
One never come out of the boat. No.
Yeah, and then the second day, you were the only one that got sick?
The second day, yeah, I think I was the only one.
But everybody fished that day.
And I tell you, I was perfectly fine. We were 3 hours into the trip, 4 hours into the trip, and I went down to the restroom off of the back of the boat to use the restroom. I drank a bunch of water, and I guess it was so cold in the bathroom. The air was blowing so cold when
Here we go.
No.
Excuse.
And I burped when I come out the door to go back upstairs, just a burp. And when I burped, the water come out of my mouth. Once I released that
water just causing you issues.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that first day it was 5 to 7 foot swells. It was.
What was it that other time you went out and got so sick?
They were calling 1 to 2s, but those were 7/8s. That me and Malcolm was on that trip. Those were probably 7/8s me and Malcolm were on that day. That was a bad trip. We had to turn the boat around that day. We couldn't stay out. It was that bad the day me and Malcolm went.
And that's another crazy captain.
That was another cranky captain. He don't care. He'll fish no matter what.
He'll go jump in and swim.
The only boat to go out of the marina, and we're like looking at everybody else like, why are we the only boat leaving the dock today? I mean, because the man don't care. It's like, what is it, Deadliest Catch on Discovery Channel? I mean, they down for it. It don't matter.
Well, that's how they make their money. You don't go out, you don't make money, I guess.
You know what? I have learned, though, that it's best to go ahead and let them keep that deposit and stay at the dock on some days. If the weather's like that out in the big water, I was right under where I would go out. I mean, from what they told us on swells. And it was not bad. It was just the sea was trying to calm down. But by lunchtime, the water had calmed down. You know, it wasn't bad. You know how it is after a storm. The water gets a little choppy. But after that, it calmed down, and it was a great ride in. We finished fishing great. The second day was great. I mean, it wasn't bad at all.
And y'all just went 2 days.
We did, and we made the second day. We left out of Zeke's and run by the house for just a second, and then we headed over to
oh, that's right.
Kevin Green and seen him at the butcher shop in Pensacola, and picked up some beautiful Wagyu steaks. I walked in and was going to get some out of the counter, and he asked me what I wanted, and he cut me 2 big, beautiful 1.5-inch ribeyes. Actually, Jordan did, and then cut me 2 big 2-inch stick fillets and 2 big, beautiful 1.5-inch New York strips. And you know me, I'm a New York strip man when it comes to Wagyu beef for some reason. Fillets are great too, but a lot of my friends, some of them had some Wagyu, but I don't think they had that degree of Wagyu. And I made up some of Alfagoni's chimichurri before I left out of a bottle and added some lemon zest and minced garlic and a few other things to it, some seasoning. So it had a couple days to get really good in the container, and all the flavors marry really well. But a lot of my friends says that was the best steak cooked on a propane grill that they'd ever had in their life.
Did y'all get a pie when you were at Kevin's? I know Kevin doesn't make the pies, but he always has the pies.
Someone bought a pie, yes.
What kind?
Key lime.
You can get the bushwhacker.
They didn't get the
one?
bushwhacker pie. I didn't realize it. I think Randy bought it, or Paul maybe. I can't remember.
I've heard the key lime one's really good too, though. I think they're known for that one as well.
Well, we left there, and none of them had been actually to Joe Patty's. So we went over to Joe Patty's Fish House, and for anyone who has never been to Joe Patty's Fish House in Pensacola, Florida, you really need to go. Yeah. It is a really neat place.
It is a cool place. We always make it a point to go there when we're near there. They have everything.
We got some shrimp. We made some barbecue shrimp that night. I did, and bought a fresh loaf of sourdough bread right out of the oven.
But y'all went there like the night before y'all were leaving too, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't really.
Well, we were waiting because some of the guys wanted to carry some head-on shrimp home and things like that. So, and I was going to get some fish to carry home, honestly, and got busy in there talking and buying other stuff that I probably didn't need at Joe Patty's. And by the time we got everything we needed.
I feel like we always come out with a basket.
Well, they have a wine shop, little sandwich shop, deli, all this stuff. You can go there and get fresh seafood and fish and whatever. And now they've opened up a little mini sushi restaurant in the back.
You told me that.
And they'll steam you anything right there, shrimp or any of the other seafood, cook it, and you can carry it with you.
Is the old man still there calling the numbers?
He is. He is talking trash the whole time on the microphone.
If you don't get up there when your number's called, you're sorry. You better get back in line. Right.
So come home from there, and I hit the ground running again, filming recipes and everything. And the 4th of July was the following week. So it was very busy. Yeah,
we didn't do a lot personally for the 4th of July.
Right before the 4th, we cooked those peach pie ribs, to be released on the 4th. So got that edited and got that out. The guys did.
Peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler ribs, yeah. When I say peach pie, peach cobbler ribs. But those things were great. I'm a peach fan, as you know. I really like the peachy flavor. We used those peach pie filling in there and all that. I thought it was something really unique and different. It's a little bit of added cinnamon and everything else and the spice that we had from the garlic jalapeno rub.
So what made you choose peach pie? Or just wanted to try it? Or peach cobbler. Now you got me saying peach pie.
Well, I made an apple pie rib. That's kind of where that come from before, a few weeks ago. And it done very well. And I'm like, well, I done that pecan pie rib back last year. We used the pecan rub, and I used some, I
made like the pecan pie.
Yeah, almost like a little thing on
the top. Or something,
but just trying to really go through my rubs and kind of highlight the flavor profiles that you can get out of that. Just something really unique and different. And so it come together. It was the first time I'd done that recipe. It come together incredible, I thought, as far as a peachy flavor goes.
And you actually cooked this rib at a lower temperature versus what you normally cook ribs at. Why did you do that?
Just to go with a little bit different, 250 degrees. It was, instead of 275, 300.
Could you tell a difference in them at all doing that, tenderness or anything?
I really could. I really like 275 on a pellet grill. I feel like a little bit of fluctuation that it has anyway, considering what size fan it has in a chamber, that it seems like that they just move air a little bit better. And with the air being a little bit hotter at 275, it helps break down that rib a little bit faster and push through that zone of breaking it down and those collagens and fibers to make it tender. And so 250 is fine, just like 225, somebody doing a 321 rib. It's just not for me. I'm a 275, 300 man. I don't have that patience.
You made that clear at Meadow Creek when all those people were asking you questions.
Well, I mean, that's just me. I mean, I'm not going to say that my way is the perfect right way. It's just the style that I like. There is, you can get, to Nashville from here 4 or 5 ways, depending on what highway you take. And you can get to that slab of ribs the same way. You can get a great end result no matter what temp you cook at if you know what you're doing. So it was good though. Really good.
So is peach cobbler is that one of your favorite desserts?
Actually, it is. Peach cobbler and banana pudding is probably 2 of my favorites as far as like authentic barbecue style desserts, My grandmother made a lot of peach cobblers, and they were a lot of dump cobblers. Some of them were, and things like that.
Dump cake.
No, dump cobblers. Like,
what's the difference in a cobbler and a cake?
I mean,
it's a dump cake or a dump cobbler.
You don't see a lot of fruit in cakes like that. Cobblers, you see the canned fruit.
To make the dump cake, you use a can of filling.
It just depends on which one you're doing.
Yeah.
Some of them don't.
I don't know. I don't make a lot of those. So,
I mean, I don't know, just something different.
So that's how your grandmother made it, though?
She did. She did.
Like the dump style?
What was the recipe?
I don't remember ever having
cup of flour, cup of sugar, cup of milk, stick of butter, and peaches, and what was it? Something else? I'd have to look back, but it was a cup, and that was like a basic.
Yeah,
just
like a quick.
Well, just throw it in the oven. You want something, a sweet tooth to go with the barbecue you're having, and you don't have to babysit it and do a lot of stuff. It's literally just throw it all in a mixing bowl, mix it up, and pour it on top of the peaches you dump out, and throw it in the oven at 375 and roll with it. And my grandmother did that a lot. Now, banana puddings, on the other hand, when I was a kid, I didn't like bananas. So she would make me banana pudding with just the cookies and the cream, but she didn't use Jell-O mix. My grandmother made everything from scratch, her banana pudding. And that's something.
Not banana pudding without a banana.
Well,
it's kind of like Blaine when he was a kid. He always wanted to he wanted a salad, but he doesn't even eat salads still to this day. A salad as a kid to him was like the bacon bits, the cheese, and the ranch. No lettuce. It's like, that's not a salad.
That's the way he does it. Well, we done some baked beans as well, and we turned loose that recipe on July the 5th. And the baked beans has kind of got a little out of hand, I want to say, the comments and things like that. And what I mean by that is a lot of people really hated on me for using Bush's baked beans. So
what are they saying you should have used?
I guess made your own beans, or some of them.
Okay, nobody does that. Come on.
I mean, I will say it depends.
I'm sure there's some people that do that. But
it depends on the type of recipe I'm cooking.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing Texas style beans, I'll get beans and soak them, and you got 2 or 3 different kinds of beans and do all that.
But that's what we would call a Texas style. I wouldn't call that a baked bean.
Yeah.
But would you? Maybe I might be wrong in my terminology.
A baked bean to me, I mean, you can start off with regular pork and beans and add molasses and more brown sugar and all that.
Yeah.
And people were freaking out over the little bit of brown sugar that I put in, but that's what makes a good barbecue baked bean to me is brown sugar.
Well, even though you add brown sugar, your beans, I will say, because I've given a lot of my food stuff here. I don't like overly sweet
That's right.
stuff in a normal savory food.
and
Dessert
that baked
is
bean
sweet.
had heat to it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, even when you go to adding brown sugar and stuff, you don't ever add so much that it just makes it so sweet, because I don't like that at all.
No.
And I wouldn't eat them if that was the case.
Well, with the mustard I put in there, the barbecue sauce, and then you come back with some barbecue rub on top of that. Everything kind of mellows it out. Mm-hmm. You're throwing in some salty bacon. All right. You're putting in some hamburger meat. Well, your green bell pepper, that's kind of authentic in a baked bean to me, and some onion. And so by the time you do all that, and the key to baked beans, people are also freaking out about how long I cooked them. And when I first started out in barbecue, there is a recipe in the Barbecue Bible, I believe, or the Barbecue USA book from Stephen Racklin. I believe it's one of those books, but I took one of those baked bean recipes he had, and I altered it. And they used to cook baked beans for like 8 or 9 hours. They put them on the smoker at 200 degrees. And I thought those were some of the best baked beans that I ever made. Well, my grandmother's baked beans always had hamburger meat and some bacon in them, bell pepper, onion. And so finding her cookbook, and I used her recipe, but the only thing I really altered was adding that brown sugar honey habanero glaze in ours. Yeah. And it kind of really kicked it up a notch with a level of heat. You get a little bit of sweetness on the front end, but the salty, sweet, savory flavors go really well together. And to me, those baked beans are some of the best pit-style beans you can make.
So do you feel like when you make baked beans, you have to put brown sugar in them? Like if you're the one making them, that's
I think
just
it's a
something
rule.
you've got to do?
If I don't have brown sugar, I will go to the store and get them. You know
you do.
that. It's
that's
like
true.
If
you're
not putting brown sugar in baked beans, then it ain't barbecue baked beans to me. And that's me. It's just not.
Well, so what makes a baked bean?
I feel
to
like
you?
brown sugar makes a good baked bean. Yes, that is to me. Now you got to have the spice with it, but you need brown sugar to make good baked beans. And a lot of people ask why I drain the juice off of the beans also as well.
You've always done that.
You know the reason why I do drain the juice off? I don't want my beans so liquidy that it takes them longer to thicken up. And so adding the brown sugar, that's going to liquefy. Adding the barbecue sauce, adding all that other stuff. So dumping that little bit of bean liquid off, you can actually take those baked beans and totally wash them off and add all liquid back for more flavor. And wash them in a colander. You don't have to keep a little bit of bean juice in there with them. I do keep a little bit of it in there, but, you know, for the most part, anything that's on top of the can, I mash the lid. I don't mash the beans, but I like getting that little bit of extra juice out of there before I start adding other stuff in.
So why do you feel like you have to cook it so long, though?
You want your beans to thicken up.
I
If
mean,
not,
I agree.
they're
I'm
going
just
to be
asking
runny and soupy. And when you put a scoop of baked beans on a plate, I cannot, maybe this is a pet peeve for me. Everybody else can let us know how they feel about this. I don't like those baked beans to run all over the plate.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? I want it when you take a scoop of baked beans, they expand out a little bit, but they stop. That's a good, hearty, meaty baked bean, you know, everything in it. And you can almost make a meal out of those baked beans if you want to. I mean, because of the meat in them and everything. But, yeah, that's the key to me, a good, hearty. I don't want it so thick that it's, you know what I mean? There's a fine line of when you pull them off the grill. You got to know that. Because it's really easy to overcook a baked bean. Because once it cools down, it's going to thicken up a little bit too. So you don't want to cook it to the point it's so thick, because then it's going to be so thick you can't scoop it out.
Yeah, I mean,
I've done that before. I've messed up baked beans before.
Yeah, and they're almost like, they almost will burn.
Well, they almost will just become mush.
Yeah.
There's a fine line there.
Yeah.
Fine line.
Yeah. So going back to your grandma, did she kind of set the standard of baked beans for you, or did she ever make baked beans?
She made baked beans just like this. And then sometimes my aunt from Memphis would bring baked beans from Brad's Barbecue out of Bartlett. And I don't even know if Brad's Barbecue in Bartlett's still open. But those beans were similar to that, except instead of ground beef, they had pulled pork in them. Other than that, they had the bell pepper, they had the onion, they had the brown sugar. You can just taste it in a good baked bean recipe.
Yeah, my grandmother always... I don't know did my grandmother have ground beef in hers? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I know she always laid bacon across the top, like bacon strips.
You lay bacon strips across the top.
That's how she did it.
All the bacon grease in the beans makes them good too. So you're putting more liquid in that, doing that. And I'd rather do that than like I said, bean liquid. I'd drain a little bit of that off when I do it.
Well.
But it was very good. And then, this week's recipe.
Well, we didn't even get to the some of the crazy comments about the beans.
Well, yeah, I guess the baked beans does have almost 500 comments.
Or maybe more by now. Who knows? Let's see.
You're nuttier than a pecan tree. Why would you discard all the bean liquor? You replace it with a crap load of sugar. Yuck. So, for the person that asked that question, read the back of that can and see how much sugar's already in it. So, draining that off. I mean, I guess it's all personal preference. If you didn't want to use bushes and they want to use regular baked beans and or regular canned pork and beans and try to make them into baked beans without any brown sugar, then go ahead. But that's not a baked bean.
The next one is cans, ? You failed, asshole. I mean, here in the South, I guess I'm just not used to, like, if you're going to make baked beans, you use canned baked beans. Like, maybe that's a Southern thing? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what's a Northern thing. What have they learned about barbecue? I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that. What state up north carries barbecue? That carries the barbecue mecca? All your barbecue capitals are in the South Belt. So I can debunk that right now. That's my personal opinion, but I know there's some good restaurants above the Mason-Dixon line that do barbecue, but a lot of those have been to Texas and other states to study that craft, to learn that.
That is true.
How many places you go to in a northern city that says Texas style barbecue, Southern style barbecue? It's always something like that. You don't ever roll to a place say New York style barbecue. And it might be good. I'm sure there's a place up there that does it, but it's not on the map. You know.
I don't know. I've yet to go to New York.
So cans, and I failed. I guess I did fail you, and I'm sorry.
This guy just turned baked beans into baked beans.
I turned them into baked beans into barbecue baked beans. Big difference.
I like this next one. I actually read this one to you when I saw it pop up on my phone. Can't you talk without using vulgar language? It's offensive. Makes you look bad.
I said, damn, those are good baked beans.
Damn, you shouldn't say damn.
I probably shouldn't.
And the next
I'll do better, damn it.
The next one says, thanks. I'll just eat a case of chocolate bars.
At least make them Mr. Beast chocolate bars. They're good for you, and I'd rather support him than I had Hershey's. That's what I'll say to that. Yeah, you can get the new Feastable bar at Zaxby's. Feastables. Feastable chocolate bar. That's actually what it's called by Mr. Beast.
So what is that like?
It's all organic type chocolate. His bars, they have no fillers or anything like that in them.
Is it just like milk chocolate, dark chocolate?
He's got all of them.
You get them where?
He actually signed a deal, I guess I'm assuming a branding deal with Zaxby's.
Like the chicken place?
Like the chicken place. You can get a Feastables bar in a snack box. But he's selling them at Walmart's nationwide, among other larger retailers.
Are they like different flavors?
Yes.
Like,
I know you're not, you probably not up to par with all that. You don't study all that, being in the HR department here at the office. I mean, I don't mean that bad by that.
Sorry, I don't go eat chocolate bars every day.
I don't eat chocolate bars either like that, but I'm just saying they are available at Zaxby's like that.
No, I didn't know that. I don't go, I mean, nothing against Zaxby's, but I don't typically go there either.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
I think he's in a lot of stores now. I know for certain they've launched Walmart
and
nationwide and others.
I don't go to Walmart a lot either.
Yeah, I mean,
and nothing against Walmart. It's crazy there. I order from Walmart.com.
Yeah.
I just try not to go in the actual store if I can help it.
I think everybody tries to live that life now, picking up groceries with ease and ordering and things like that. And we go to the store once in a blue moon, but when we do,
I mean, I go to Kroger and stuff, but Walmart just gets crazy sometimes.
I know.
Unless you go like late at night or really
early
in
the morning. I was going to say, when I typically run to Walmart or Kroger, I try to go by lunchtime.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to go after lunch, especially on the weekends. If I'm going early. You got to get it out of the way.
There on the weekends at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, those are some crazy comments on those baked beans. Evidently, a lot of people has not had the opportunity to have really good barbecue baked beans before.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, I guess, is baked beans even I guess you can go to restaurants up north and all those places and get baked beans.
It's probably like KFC. It's just a scoop of beans warmed up with a little bit of liquid in them.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that's probably what the majority of people consider baked beans. I don't know if we probably need to start a poll on that of how many people actually cook pit style baked beans versus just warming up a can of baked beans on the stove. Y'all ever wondered that? What? I mean, a lot of people warm up a can of Bush's baked beans, like you said, the original whatever, and somebody's saying that they already had sugar in them and they're already baked beans.
But doesn't pork and beans have stuff in them too? Like, they're not just beans.
They're
like,
more tomato based.
Well, they still have liquid, and I guarantee you, if you look at that nutrition label, there's going to be sugar in it because there's sugar in everything.
Well, I'm sure it is, but it don't have the amount of sugar that probably the Bush's baked beans has and all that.
I bet it has the amount of sodium.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Bush's
not.
does have a low sodium baked bean.
Pork and beans might have that too. I don't know. I haven't studied beans lately.
I mean, some of the best baked beans is putting them on under a brisket.
So some of the best baked beans too, and this is just my personal preference. We haven't made them this way in a long time, but I love a heavy pecan rub in the baked bean. Remember, we used to make them that way for quite a while. But.
Well, this week's recipe that we just dropped, I know you didn't get to taste it. You weren't at home.
Some people have to work.
Yeah, I hear you. And we're the crack burgers, but we done them like patty melt style instead of doing just a really big crack burger. So the viral crack burger recipe, you know, everybody knows they're adding ranch dressing and or powdered ranch to it and bacon and cheese and all that. And so I tried to take that recipe and turn it into, I don't want to say a smash burger, but it wasn't total thin or anything like that. But turn it into a patty melt style with the Texas toast and making a burger sauce and all that. I thought it was really, really good. So it just depends on what you want to do.
I mean, I think anything, in my opinion, anything with a ranch, it's going to ranch seasoning, even if it's not ranch dressing, ranch seasoning is going to be good. For the most part.
You know, I tried it, but would I cook the crack burger for me at home all the time again? It's one of those one-offs where when I have it every once in a while, it would be okay. I'm more of a, as you know, a purist when it comes to burgers. I want more of a good ribeye chuck type blend. You know what I mean? A hearty blend. I don't want a heavy fat burger.
Yeah.
I almost want like a steak style burger, chop house style, steakhouse style burger, hearty type.
So why did you do like the patty melt instead of a traditional burger?
I didn't really see anybody else doing that on the internet, doing it patty melt style, honestly, and wanted to change it up from what everybody else was doing. And I knew, you know, you can kind of see these trends on TikTok and Instagram and different platforms when, you know, everybody starts cooking this one thing.
Well, why do you think it became so popular on that?
I think probably the name of it, you know, the whole crack burger thing, you know, I don't know if that ranged from like people using it in like crack chicken, you know, because the ranch dressing and powder mixes and all that's been going in roast and chickens and the peppercini peppers and all that kind of stuff for a while. And you know, bringing that up, I wonder how it would be with the gravy mix and the ranch mix mixed up and seasoning in a burger like that. And using pepperoncinis on it and cheese as a blend.
Kind of like the Mississippi
style
but
burger.
Like do it as a burger. It'd probably be good.
I wonder how, and maybe use melted cheese and gravy on it. Huh?
Gravy on it too.
That sounds like a stoner burger. Maybe we need to call Sam the cooking guy. He can whip that up for us.
What's your favorite cheese on a burger? Like if you had to pick one cheese on
cheddar.
Like yellow cheddar?
Yellow or white cheddar.
I like white cheddar.
I've become more of a white cheddar fan.
Yeah, I like white cheddar a lot. I don't know why or what's so different about the white versus yellow, but it is different.
Yeah.
I like
I mean, I know people's going to probably hate on this and say it's bad when I say about American cheese being processed, you know, but it is hard to beat really good American cheese as far as a creamy
like the melted, melting it, like a good melting cheese, I guess is where
2 slices of American cheese on a good classic top burger.
It is.
I mean, I know cheddar's good, but
cheddar is more oily. You know, I've always said that, and it melts fine, but it does have a different consistency of.
It does.
Like versus the American creamy, or I don't know. It's weird.
I know we're about half cheese snobs. People probably don't realize that we keep like 2 drawers of cheese at home of all kinds of stuff and always trying different kinds of cheeses and things like that. But pretty unique to learn how to cook with cheese because like you said, a lot of that stuff's oily. It reacts different.
It's really oily, some of it.
And, you know, we've learned and picked up tidbits over the years of what cheeses to mix together and what to use together and what pairs well with something and all that. And
you used to have a good cheese lady at Kroger, too. We would ask her all kinds of cheese questions.
And I hate that Karen is gone.
She would, she educated me on what cheese to use for my kid to eat in a quesadilla. So
I mean, for sure.
Can't just go buy regular cheese and make a quesadilla because it'll get oily.
That's right. That's right. But those burgers were really good. I mean, I would cook them again. It's just hard for me to beat like an onion style smash burger. For me, I'm a big onion person, so I like a lot of onion on my burgers.
Raw, cooked, just however.
You know me, raw, cooked, diced, sliced, it don't matter. I mean, I could eat onions at every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
It's about like mayonnaise. I could if it's a dish to go on it, I'm down with it. I mean, I don't know why. Onions and mayo is 2 of my most favorite. I want to call them condiments. There is probably. I could do without ketchup before I'm done without mayonnaise.
You eat ketchup a lot.
I could do without ketchup before I'm done without mayonnaise.
Well, speaking about recipes, we're still got hot grill summer going on.
I know, and we're going into week 5 right now with chicken wings. And so For everyone that don't know, you know, Hot Grill Summer, we're giving away a grill, charcoal, fuel, or some type of fuel, depending on what grill it is, pellets versus charcoal or lump, whatever, every week. And we started this, chicken wings will be week 5 here. And we've had a lot of great entries so far. You can enter on every platform to win. All you got to do is upload your picture. And whoever that week's grill is, that company is kind of choosing their favorite picture. And so it kind of works out really easy, really simple. We've seen a lot of user-generated content so far for this contest. And it's been amazing to see everybody produce some of the products and some of the food that's been cooked with our products.
Yeah, so for this, for week 5, I guess the winnings is a Rectech grill.
Yep, it is the Rectech 380X Bullseye Deluxe, and it is coming with gloves and a rub and sauce bundle and a custom fit cover and also some pellets and a grill grate brush and some rolled oak pellets, and best of all, it comes from Springer Mountain Farms chicken. So
basically getting everything you need to cook some more chicken.
Well, we kind of thought when we put this contest together every week, you know, people's already out grilling, right, during the week. So just cook that theme that week at some point, you know, whatever it is. It don't have to be fancy. It does not matter what kind of grill you're cooking it on. It don't have to be that type that we're giving away for a prize that week. You cook it on whatever you have at home.
So I can fry my chicken wings if I want?
You can fry your chicken wings at home. And if you make them look good in a picture and you're using our products, you can absolutely win something if they pick you as a winner.
They might not even taste good and nobody would even know.
Well, I mean, it's completely up to you of how you handle it. So all you got to do is upload the pic.
I'm just saying, we would never know.
Well, chicken wings hard to beat no matter what way you do them. I haven't had a bad one unless you really overcook them.
That's the thing, is just the cook on them. I think most people, most things go well with chicken.
Most people can outcook Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, well, I like the Thai curry there, and you can't reproduce that. So until you can do that, then
I can't, or I hadn't yet.
Both.
Is that a challenge?
Sure.
It's just another flavor to come up with.
That's the only reason I keep going there, because I do like that, which I guess I could just go buy the Thai curry sauce there.
You could, because it's nothing but fried wings. They don't do anything to them but deep fry.
I didn't say the wing. That's not why I go. Sometimes the wings are cooked okay there, and sometimes they're not.
Sometimes they cook hot so hard it's bad.
And, yeah, sometimes it's a disappointment. But that's any wing place. Everybody has good days and bad days, I feel like.
Well.
Or the cook, I guess, is the...
And it's probably also, people don't realize, a lot of people are probably using pressure fryers and setting them by the minutes. Well, when you got a buyer that sends you a different weighted chicken, or, you know what I mean, their chicken legs are so many ounces off from what you're used to been buying because you're saving money and you're still cooking them the same length of time.
True. And
they're 2 ounces difference or ounce difference in the weight. That chicken wing is going to be cooked a little further, and it's not going to be as good to the consumer like us. And a lot of these cooks in the kitchens, some of them, are just line cooks, don't pay attention to that type of stuff. It's really easy to overcook that chicken. They don't want to get you sick from raw chicken.
Yeah, I don't want to get sick from raw chicken.
It just depends on the place, and I think the time and the passion that the cook has. And that don't matter if it's a chain restaurant or a local mom and pops. I think it all depends on who you hire behind that grill or that fryer, of how that food comes out, of how their quality of work is.
I don't know. I guess so.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's why you're better off just cooking them yourself, I guess.
You're right. And so, thinking about this, you like those wings fried with that Thai curry. I wonder how it would be a grilled wing with a Thai curry.
I don't know. I guess I prefer fried wings more than grilled. I don't dislike grilled or smoked, but I just feel like they're more, and some people probably prefer them that way. The meat is, and not that I want the meat to be hard.
You want a crispy exterior?
I like it crispy. And when you do grilled or smoke, it's more chewy and soft.
I got you. The skin.
And I don't like that, me personally, but I know other people probably do.
Well,
clearly I'm
best
picky
of
about
both
my food.
worlds. Some of these barbecue restaurants, a lot of them, smoke their wings first and then pull them off and then drop them in a deep fryer, a minute, to kind of crisp up that skin. And to me, that's one of the best style wings you can eat, smoker fried or whatever you want to call it. I think didn't Mo have that coin phrase one time?
Oh, I don't know.
When he done a commercial, you remember the smoking fried thing? I don't remember who it was for.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think it was for a pizza joint, but don't hold me to that. I can't remember.
So even if they don't want to participate and cook, though, they can still go to the link in the description for weekly drawings.
They can. We're giving away a rib,
gift cards.
a bundle every week, or a gift card. We're giving away a gift card. We're giving away a gift card every week. I was going to give away bundles, and I was like, well, instead of giving somebody a bundle that they might already have,
let them get what they want.
Let them just get whatever they want. So we're giving away a $100 gift card every week. All you got to do is sign up with your email, sign up, even if you don't want to participate in cooking, and you'll still be registered to win a $100 gift card.
And you don't have to participate every week either. No. You can just pick and choose.
That's
hey,
right.
I want to do that week, but not that week.
That's right. But you can win more than 1 week. You
True.
have people picking winners, and last year we had one person that won 2. And so it's totally up to you if you want to put the effort in, but some really good prizes. And I know that Rectech Bullseye is going to be a great prize pack for somebody. So at the end of this 12 weeks, we've got a custom gateway drum and a custom Outlaw patio smoker that's also be given away. Those are the 2 big prizes in our book. So
I hope they got room for it.
I hope everybody keeps cooking. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's podcast. We're just catching up, shooting the queue about some travels we had and some of the recipes we've done. We'll see y'all next week for another episode of Shooting the Que.
Thank you for tuning in to the Shootin The Que podcast. If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels or through our website. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Leave us a review if you enjoyed the show. Until next time, keep shooting the Que.